Hello everybody, it's me, we are back, and we are back with the tutorial. Now this tutorial is a very simple enemy and player health script. Now have you ever wondered in those games why, let's take Minecraft, why the enemy always seems to have much more health than you and you have like 5 hearts? It's not that bad, but why you always seem to be constantly dying while the enemy can basically take 1,000 hits before they die. Well, that's because health. Now there's many different ways to do health, but I'm going to be showing you about what I would call the simplest way of doing health. All I started with was a standard assets package, which if you don't know about it, go to the asset store and look into the search bar once it comes up. Standard assets, that's standard. I know I spelt it wrong, do not mock my spelling. I failed in English. Did that say Sacramento? That makes, why would you, oh. Huh, cool. Apparently it doesn't want to come up because it lags, but if you look up standard assets in the asset store, you'll find the standard assets. Trust me on this one, okay? Alright, so we basically, all we're going to do is, all I did is took, from the standard assets, I opened up the characters, first person character, and opened up our FPS controller. Now they have a bunch of different controllers. You can do a roller ball, a third person character, you can do all that. I'm using first person for this example. Alright, so we have our first person controller. We also are going to need a enemy, because this is going to be showing you how we would control the enemy in this game. He's way above the... let's bring him down. Click on the button. Bring him down. Thank you. Alright, so we're going to bring him down, and we are currently in the floor, so we want to bring us up. And then we want to take the cube and say we are enemy. There we go, so now we have the player, which should be always tagged as player. It's just a good convention just in case you need to get this object, you can always find it. I don't think we need to add a tag. Yeah, no, we'll be fine. So first we're going to go on with the player's health. Now we're not doing any sort of AI, mind you. We're only doing health here, which is very simple, so we're just going to do player health. Now you could technically do this all in the same script. So you could take the enemy health and the player health and make them into health. I personally don't suggest it. Generally that doesn't work out well, because the problem you'll have there is then you have to make sure that the player and the enemy is all each use the right functions to calculate health. Because what will generally happen is the player won't always have the same amount of health as their enemy. It's like a boss, so you will never have the same health as the boss. The boss is supposed to be higher than you, a little bit more challenging, and in general, annoying to deal with. If they're the same level, same health, then it's not a big of a challenge, you just have to know how to dodge. So, generally your health, depending on the game, mind you, is much different. So some games will have it when you take a hit, you instantly die. I don't call that a health system. There isn't really a health system for that game, because the system of health is if you die in one hit. Games that are common known for health systems, you would have Team Fortress 2, one big name. You have Destiny 2, Destiny. Basically any game, Minecraft including, has a health system. 10 hearts. Each weapon does its own amount of damage, and once you get to 0, you die. That's what the health system does. It handles that, and it handles how you take hits and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about that, and that's what we're doing. So we don't need this. Now the health system for the player and the enemy is basically the same thing. They don't really change much. Oh, why did I just tab twice? Nice thing about most engines, or not engines, I'm using Microsoft Visual Studio. The nice thing about it is you can do Shift Tab to move back and Tab to move forward. It's just helpful. I just wanted to say that. So we need an int health. Actually, this will change depending on the game. So int health for our game, our very test one just to show the point, int health. Now this health is fairly simple. You can make it into a float instead, so it uses decimals, so it could be, let's just start our player off as 5. So they have 5 maximum hit points. You'll see a lot of games have 100, or some will have 50. It depends on how they want to do it and how they want to balance their game out. And then we're going to get a value, or a bool, which is a boolean, so true or false, and we're going to say is dead. Now, we're not going to be using this one as much in this tutorial, which we're going to set to false, but it's useful if you're doing animations and if you need to trigger something on a different script, but it only triggers when the player's dead, then that's what you'd use that for. So first thing we want to do is we want to make a public void, which means it doesn't ask for anything. We want to make a method called take, keep them together, hit. So this is going to be our take hit. So this is how we are going to tell the script, or tell our health to go down. Now the problem we're going to have is, generally I have a maximum health or a current health, so that this number will never change and we have something to show in the inspector. I'll show you what I mean by that. But so we're going to do a public int current health, or I'm going to use cur as a shorthand for current health. No, I need one at that. Thank you. Alright. And this will equal nothing at the current moment. So when we take the hit, we need 2 things from the whatever hits us. We need 2 things. We need 1, we need to know how much we're taking. 2, we need to know, I think that's it. Wait, why did I say 2? We need to know how much we're taking. That's basically all we need. So we need take hit amount. And this will have to be an int. So there we go. So now what we can do is we can say health is, or not health, we want to change this to current health, so we can just go up. Current health is equal to, now here, okay, sorry, is minus equal. We don't want, oh, that was weird. Is minus equal to the current amount. I messed up my entire sentence there. Give me a second. Let me re-say that. So we basically, when we take a hit, we want to take our current health and minus it by our amount. Okay, so we just say amount. Now you do minus equals because it's a shorthand for saying basically what I'm about to, I'll show you what it is here. So we have cur health. Basically, normally if you didn't do the minus equals, you'd have to do equals cur health minus, or not, minus amount. Basically, this is just a shorthand for this, so you don't have to write out everything, you can just go like this. And that's how that works. That's why we do that. Alright. So that's taking our hit. Now we want to do one more thing. You can add a heal, which is basically just doing the opposite. You do plus equals amount. But we're going to do update, or no, void update. You got to remember to add that there. Void update. And we're going to add the curly brackets. And then we're going to take the if current amount, cur health, is equal to, or double equals to 0. Then we're basically just going to set is dead equal to true. So our player has died. This is all you have to do. There's one more thing though. Sorry, this is not all you have to do. One more thing we have to do. We want to quickly go down, and we're not going to do it up there. We'll do it right in between. Leave some space, and we're going to do void start. If you don't know what void start does, or if you want to check out any of the other tutorials, there will be an info card up here, and at the end of the video, I suggest you stay that far. You will find a playlist with the rest of the tutorials if you want to know how to do other stuff. I cover movement, I covered some AI, rough AI, I might cover more advanced later, But yeah, so go check it out. Free of charge, of course. And if you like what I am doing, I do highly recommend you subscribe. You get more content in the future, and it helps out the channel. And press the like button, tells me you like what I'm doing. But remember, you have to hit the bell icon, because the bell icon lets you get notified when I actually post. And I haven't been posting recently because of, well, I have been, but I stopped for a little bit because Father's Day stuff, and I just got busy. So we're gonna take this now. We want to take in our start, we want to take our current health and set it to whatever our health is. I just got into the habit of doing this. You don't have to do this, you could just have one set health and it makes it easier, but I wanted this to be something that doesn't change. But I'm going to suggest something. I'm actually going to change how this works. We're going to take this and set it to the current health. So we're going to equal this to 100, and we're just going to not have that happen. Because I know I did it. I don't suggest you do it. There's no reason right now for you to have to do this type of thing where you do that. So just leave it simple like this. You have public int cur health that will equal 100. You have is the player dead, that is a bool, and we automatically set it to false. We have take hit, which just subtracts our current health from the amount. And then we have if our current health is equal to 0, then we kill the player. Or we say the player is now dead. Alright, so that works. Now we just have to take something that will hit us. Now you can see this will basically work the same for the enemy. If we had an attack button, so I'll just show you. So once this loads in, I'll show you, and let's press the button. Now I'm going to stop the recording temporarily, and I'm going to make the enemy script, and I'm going to run through what changed from the player to the enemy. And here we go. We have the nothing will change for you, and you can't really do much with the enemy right now because it floats, which I'll change. But yeah, that's basically it. We can change the health of the player and to 50, but nothing happens when we do it. So I'll come back and I'll show you what I do. Alright, so I will see you guys in... Hello everybody, welcome back, and we are back with the final area, final boss, final health. Let's go. So we had the enemy health created, and I just called it enemy health for simplicity. Now normally I might have put this with an AI, coupled it into the same script, but I'm gonna keep them separated because that's smart. Anyway, so we have our current health, which you'll notice is basically the same script, only I added 2 things to this one, which I should have changed that player. And so you have a debug log saying, hey, player's dead. And the only thing I added was this part here, which is the on mouse down, which gets whenever you press the object the script is attached to, whenever you press that your mouse down on top of that object, it will say, hey, activate this line, this whatever's in here, activate it, which is take hit 10. So what we should see if we play this is I'm going to be able to hit this a total of the enemy in the middle of the air a total of 10 times, and I should get a message saying the enemy is dead. If I did this right, which I did this right. Just trust me on that one. Anyway, so let's go look at our guy. It's hard to see where the cursor is right now, but you can kind of just try and guess around a little bit. Actually, we're gonna add a... Ooh, wait. There we go. See, now we're clicking on him. We minus 40'd the guy. Okay, hold on. This is the problem with using an update, by the way. On mouse down will get whenever you press mouse down, so it worked. We minus health. We minused a lot of health, mind you, but we still minused health. So we're going to quickly just do a peace of mind thing, and we're going to add a small UI that tells us where our cursor is. So let's do an image. And we're going to center it. 0, 0. And we're going to make it about 25. Doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be... How big is that? Nope, not the animator. Not the do not. I did not want the animator. Thank you. That's pretty big. That's a pretty big crosshair. We don't need that big of a crosshair. So we just want to change the color, make it seeable, and then let's lower this to like 10. Yeah, that looks like a crosshair. Good. Or at least a dot. Looks like a dot. It's a dot. Alright, let's go. And I could technically make it a bit, and our mouse should basically clip to here, so that's how we know where. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Now we know exactly where we're clicking. Now, we've clicked on it a couple times, so how's our enemy looking? They're at 50 health. We clicked it 5 times. If we click it again, it'll go down to 40, 30, 20, 10, dead. Now you can cleep. You can keep clicking on it, and it can just keep going. You can go basically as far as you want. A simple way to fix that is if is dead. We're going to do a different thing. I'm going to show you shorthand. If is not dead, that's saying if whatever is, if it's false. So if we are not dead, we can do this. That's what that's saying. It's basically the equivalent of saying, where can I type it? Hold on, let's just type it here. It's the equivalent of saying if is dead is equal to false. That's basically what we're saying there. That's all we're saying. And if I did the opposite way where I removed it, if I remove this exclamation point here, which is not, then it would mean if it equals to true. So just a shorthand there for you. You don't have to use it. It makes about no difference. It just is a bit not as much stuff to put onto the screen. It makes it a bit smaller if you have bigger things you're trying to make. Alright, and that is literally all you have to do for a health script. For both the player and enemy. It's something very small, but it's very simple. If you were ever curious where I learned to program, there's a very nice site, I'll show it up on the screen now, called udemy.com. I don't know if it's .com.ca? Udemy. Udemy has professionally taught courses by professional instructors. They have a bunch of topics. It's not just game development, it's not just programming. You have graphic illustration, artists, I believe they have business courses as well. So they have a wide range of subjects. This is not sponsored, by the way. I'll have a disclaimer somewhere. This is not sponsored, not promoted. It's just what I use. If you wanted to know where I learned, I'll have a link in the description, of course. If you're interested in checking it out to see stuff, I recommend a course. It's 3D game development. I'll leave a link specifically to that course on Udemy in the description. So yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you made it this far, Drake's seal of approval for all of you. And if you liked it, don't feel afraid to click the like button. That's what I wanted to say. Don't feel afraid to click the like button. It shows me that you like my content and you want me to make more. And if you do want to see more, click the like button, not the like button. Click the subscribe button, because then, if you click it, you'll get to stay around. But first, you'll have to click the bell icon with it, because if you don't click the bell icon, you won't get notified. And I do these tutorials every Thursday, so you might want to get notified when I upload these tutorials. Besides that, I also upload games every once in a while. I even have a game that might be going up after today's. I have a recording coming up for it, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to press the bell icon or you might miss it. Anyway, until next time, Happy New Year.